So what happens to your digital life after you die? Social media giants once planned to delete inactive accounts of the deceased until a massive outcry stopped them. So how does society unravel the ethical dilemmas with the afterlife of data? Welcome to That's Life, I swear. This podcast is about life's happenings in this world, happenings that conjure up such words as intriguing, frightening, life-changing, inspiring, and more. I'm Rick Barron, your host. That said, here's the rest of this story. In today's book review, the big question is, so what happens to your digital information when you die? More importantly, why you should care. The Afterlife of Data by Carl Ullman covers this central question. The book discusses Ullman's examination of how our digital data and online footprints create an afterlife that persists beyond physical death. So here's the question again. What happens to our social media accounts after we die? The short answer is nothing. Carl's book goes into the fate of an individual's social media presence after their demise raises profound questions. Unless proactive measures are taken to deactivate accounts, remove posts, or delete sites, these digital footprints remain intact, undisturbed by the user's passing. This phenomenon carries staggering statistical implications. According to researchers at the Oxford Internet Institute, their projections suggest that by the year 2100, Facebook could harbor a staggering 4.9 billion deceased users, or in this case, digital corpses. This grim forecast indicates that the social media platform, and others as well, will have more deceased members than living ones by the year 2070. The ramifications of this scenario are far-reaching, extending beyond the personal realm of the deceased families, but into the realms of legal, ethical, social, and cultural paradigms, necessitating a re-evaluation of established norms and practices. The shutting down of digital accounts raises ethical questions about memorialization, ownership, and preservation of this data after someone dies. Should it be treated with the same respect as physical remains? Carl calls out in the book that data degrades over time without active maintenance. Yet companies have little incentive to preserve accounts of the deceased indefinitely. Some are exploring using AI to create digital ghosts that simulate interacting with the deceased based on their data trail. A little creepy, but intriguing. The decision to purge inactive accounts sparked outrage, a lesson Twitter learned back in 2019 when it announced plans to remove profiles dormant for over 6 months. Grieving loved ones protested, fearing the loss of precious digital footprints left by the deceased. Their voices resonated, and the company backed down. However, the issue resurfaced in 2023 when Elon Musk, Twitter's new owner, declared, "We're purging accounts that have had no activity at all for several years." If a social media giant like Twitter struggles to preserve its own recent history, what fate awaits our personal virtual legacies? The rise of all these digital remnants causes problems, and it's getting worse. Beyond personal data, the preservation of digital historical records, evidence of human rights abuses, is also an issue as data gets deleted over time. Carl argues a plurality of institutions, not just corporations or a global body, should have the rights to audit and control data of the dead. He dubs that this post-mortal condition or views modern human beings as archaepolitons, citizens of the surrounding digital archive. Let's talk about the author. Carl Ullman, an esteemed scholar in digital ethics and political science, has captured widespread recognition for his groundbreaking research, delving into the intricate intersections of artificial intelligence, deepfakes, and the enduring legacy of digital footprints. His academic journey culminated in acquiring a doctorate degree from the University of Oxford in September of 2020. Ullman's scholarly endeavors have transcended the confines of academia, capturing the attention of prominent media outlets such as the New York Times, BBC, and Time magazine, which have extensively covered his insightful findings. In a testament to his remarkable contributions to the arts and humanities, Scopus Elsevier gave him the esteemed accolade of being the UK's #1 early career researcher in 2020. Carl holds the position of Associate Senior Lecturer at the Department of Government at Oxford, where he continues to push the boundaries of knowledge. His research portfolio encompasses diverse topics, ranging from the ethical implications of AI to the intricate dynamics of digital remains and their preservation. Carl's academic pursuits have garnered substantial support, as evidenced by his role as the principal investigator for 2 major research projects. The first, a 5-year initiative funded by WASP-HS, delves into the intricate interplay between AI and political communication. That's a good one. Concurrently, he oversees a 3-year project dedicated to exploring the resilience of democratic systems in the face of online disinformation. So what drew my interest in reading this book? The considerable threat of personal data left after someone has passed away is looming larger by the minute. This problem has the potential of humanity becoming utterly entangled in the metaphoric rabbit hole. A consequence of personal and societal choices will need to be made in the years ahead to circumvent this risk. The rapid evolution of technology raises a risk of adaptation, occurring without conscious awareness of its profound impact on our collective identity as a society, civilization, and ultimately as a species. Progress alone is insufficient. We must strive for inclusive, equitable, sustainable, and ethically sound judgments that move us to an advancement worthy of humanity's finest virtues. This encompasses a broad spectrum, from legislation and regulations to daily engaging with technology, the values we impart to future generations, and the business's choices today. So what can we learn from this story? What's the takeaway? Due to its broad scope and readability, this book would be an excellent resource for the high school and college classroom. It offers a wealth of contemporary examples that can spark discussions and challenge established perceptions about digital data, making it valuable for undergraduate and graduate students across various fields. Even social media companies should explore this book, as they're the prime digital information source. Moreover, Carl's research can shape the perspectives of today's technology and policy leaders, and future software developers, social media leaders, and policymakers, individuals who will inevitably navigate a world intertwined with digital remnants. Well, there you go, my friends. That's life, I swear. For further information regarding the material covered in this episode, I invite you to visit my website, which you can find on Apple Podcasts, for show notes, calling out key pieces of content mentioned, and the episode transcript. As always, I thank you for listening and your interest. Be sure to subscribe here or wherever you get your podcasts so you don't miss an episode. See you soon.